What's something the crazy one in your friend group did that you'll never forget? Riley was that person. Not crazy like she lit stuff on fire or got arrested. Crazy like she just didn't care what anyone thought. And I mean that in the best way possible. She dyed her hair purple with Kool-Aid in 8th grade, started a petition to ban homework, and got 400 kids to sign it before the principal shut it down. She wore a dinosaur onesie to school on random Tuesdays just because she felt like it. But what she pulled during senior prom was actually insane. Our high school was super cliquey. You know the type. The popular kids always won everything. Prom king and queen were basically reserved for whoever had the most Instagram followers. It was predictable and honestly kind of boring. Every year, same type of people, same fake speeches about unity and memories. Riley hated that. She'd been complaining about it since junior year. It's always the same 6 people winning everything, she'd say. What's even the point? So when prom nominations opened up in April, Riley did something nobody saw coming. She nominated her dog for prom queen. Yeah, her actual dog, a golden retriever named Marley. At first, we all thought she was just messing around. Riley did stuff like that all the time. But then she started printing posters, like actual campaign posters. They said, "Vote Marley for queen," with photos of her dog wearing a little crown she bought from Party City. She made buttons too, handed them out in the cafeteria, put them on people's backpacks when they weren't looking. Most people laughed. Some people thought it was dumb, but everyone kind of loved it because it was so random. Here's the thing though, Riley was smart about it. On the nomination form, she didn't write Marley the dog. She wrote M. Reynolds. That was technically Marley's legal name on her vet papers. Riley's mom had registered her that way as a joke years ago, and Riley never forgot. So when the school posted the final 5 nominees for prom queen, there it was, M. Reynolds, right next to Kelsey Grant and Madison Cole and all the usual suspects. Nobody on the staff connected the dots. They just saw a name. By the time someone figured it out, voting had already closed. The ballots were in. And apparently, a lot of people had voted for M. Reynolds as a joke. Or maybe because they were tired of the same people winning. Either way, it was too late to change anything. Prom night came. Riley showed up in this deep red dress she'd thrifted, but she also brought Marley, like actually brought her dog to prom. Security tried to stop her at the door, but she had printed out some fake emotional support animal paperwork she made on Canva. It looked legit enough that they just let her through. The prom court was announced halfway through the night. They called up the 5 girls. Kelsey and Madison were up there looking all perfect in their sparkly dresses. Then Riley walked up holding Marley in her arms. The dog had a tiny matching red dress on. People started laughing. Some were confused. The vice principal looked like he wanted to crawl into a hole. Then they opened the envelope. "And your senior prom queen is M. Reynolds." The gym exploded. People were screaming. Half the room was dying laughing. The other half was cheering. Kelsey's face went bright red. Madison looked like she'd been slapped. The principal ran up on stage trying to grab the microphone, but Riley was faster. She held Marley up like Simba in The Lion King and said, "This is what happens when you let the same boring people win everything. Popularity isn't a personality. And honestly, Marley's a better queen than half the people here." Then she added, "Also, she's never talked behind anyone's back." Can your queen say that? The place went insane. Even some teachers were trying not to laugh. The principal tried to say the vote didn't count, that it was a mistake. But Riley pulled out a printed copy of the prom rules. There was nothing in there that said nominees had to be human. She'd checked. The only rule was that they had to be enrolled or connected to the school. And since Marley had been on campus before for Riley's senior project on therapy animals, she technically qualified. They couldn't do anything. Riley ended up giving this whole speech while holding her dog. She talked about how prom was supposed to be fun for everyone, not just the kids who peaked in high school. She said people shouldn't feel invisible just because they weren't in the right group. And then she did something even crazier. She made the DJ play a slow song, and she walked around the gym pulling random kids onto the dance floor. The ones who were sitting alone, the ones who didn't have dates, the ones who looked uncomfortable. She made sure every single one of them got a dance. Marley just sat in the middle of the floor wearing her little crown while everyone danced around her.